Hey guys, looking to shoot a quick video here today. So this is my DIY version of sand strips that you can get at the store. Except this way will last a lot longer and it's cost effective. What you'll need is tin snips or aviation snips, screws, specifically these are deck screws. The reason you'd go with deck screws over normal screws is because they're meant to be outside, so they have a coating. If you don't want to use screws, you can use nails. These are roofing nails. They're galvanized. They're meant to be outside. That is why you would go with something galvanized. The mesh itself is also galvanized. And for what we're going to do today is I'm just going to use an impact. You can use a cordless drill as well. The reason I would prefer to use screws over nails is because over time nails will start to get pushed out of the wood just through wear and tear. With snips, I've already cut these, but all you need to do is just go down the line with the snips. You can also use a grinder that I didn't have here today, but a grinder will work as well. But for most DIY homeowners, snips are a cheaper solution to the problem. Okay, so we're getting ready to install our first strip. To make it look better, we want to keep the end of the strip at the same spacing along the rung of the step. It wouldn't look very nice like that, so let's just eye it out. You don't need to do anything special or spectacular. One other thing that you want to keep in mind is you want to have the spacing roughly the same on either side, so it looks better when you look at it. Okay, so I'm going to use my foot just to hold it down. And when you're screwing them in, what you also want to do is you're going to want to step on it to stretch out the metal best you can, because over time it may want to bubble on you a little bit. Alright, so we're on the last rung here. This is more difficult than having two hands instead of having both hands on your workpiece, but we'll make this work. So what I've noticed when screwing this down, you really want to try to stretch it out to get it as tight as you can. You'll see that all of these have bubbled up a little bit just because it came off a roll when I bought it from the store. So okay, that screw was a little bit tougher than I wanted it to be. So as you can see, it doesn't go quite parallel, so that's where I want it to be. So I'm going to use my foot to hold it in place. Okay, we'll try to stretch it out the best that we can to get it nice and flat. And then for all of these, I've also put a screw in the middle just to help hold it down. So what you can do to line up your screws, I've only been eyeing everything out here, so here's a screw here. So all we're going to do is try to eye it out where we think it's going to be the same. I think it's right about there. So let's put one last screw into this. Oh, I just dropped it. Now I'm going to take an educated guess because I think it's about there. Okay, so I didn't stretch this out well enough. That's why it's bubbled here. It's not a big deal, but this is our finished product. This is 20 minutes of work. The mesh itself was less than $20. The screws were $15 that I bought for another project. So you have the job here complete for what, $40, and I'll probably get about 5 years out of this. And over time, just walking on it, it's going to flatten this out. One other thing you might want to do is you might want to take a hammer and then any high spots on the very edge here, just nail them down so you don't have something sticking up, which I'm going to do in a moment. Okay, so we are back with our trusty hammer, and then anything that you see that is sticking up, like this right here, just tap it down. And if you ever notice too much bubbling, or if it ever changes shape in the future, what you can always do is just put a couple extra screws. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to wait to see what happens because I've never tried this type of method before, so I'm not sure how it's going to wear. But just something to keep an eye on for later on. So, oh, see, this is really bad right here. So, for about an hour of work in total, that's cutting the mesh and install. Simple job. This is a beginner's job. You don't need any experience to do something like this. It's basic tools. I would suggest going with screws opposed to nails. Like I said, nails can pop out over time, but job well done, cost effective. So guys, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm going to do what I can as things come up, and good luck on your project. We'll see you next time.